Teachers of Reddit, what's the stupidest thing you've caught a student doing in your class? Ninth grade girls ate pot brownies for the first time, freaked out in class, asked to go to the nurse, and cried that they needed to go to confession. Student was holding scissors very close to his eyes. When I asked why he was doing this, he responded that he was just trimming his eyelashes. That's all. Said it like it was a completely normal thing to do. First grader. Here's to hoping he has a bright future and two functioning eyes to see it. Had a student who would bang on the windows when she was upset. She would only tap it, but I'd stop her and say, "Don't do that, you're gonna break it and hurt yourself." Sure enough, one day she hit the window extra hard and it shattered. Poor girl just looked at me and started to cry with blood dripping down her arm. Giving/receiving a hand job under the table at the back of the class. They must have thought I couldn't see, or maybe they did, and that's how they flipped their switch. Regardless, I simply said, "Those two who were texting at the back, put your phones away." Awkward blushing all round. One of my favorite stories. Dude got caught because his penis pump was too noisy. Classic. Had a 6th grade student tell people to call him Jigglypuff. He regretted it after 2 hours until he eventually left the school. Had a kid who used his school ID and a pile of eraser shavings to try and teach his friends how to do a line of coke, snorting included. Not sure inhaling eraser shavings has the same effect. Kid in band, worriedly, hypothetically, what would be the worst thing that could happen if somebody drank some valve oil? Me. Are you asking me this because you drank some valve oil? Kid, maybe. Had a kid who liked to fart during class to get attention. Would do it multiple times a class period until one day he pushed too hard and crapped his pants. Never did it again. One of my 2nd graders was trying to eat his own shoe. I witnessed a girl chew a pen and it burst in her mouth. She then spat the contents onto another student who smacked her with his chair. Middle school was a bit mad. I once had a kid, 7th grader, come to school covered in soot and reeking of what smelled like a barbecue grill. Turned out he was high off his ass and was trying to cook out marijuana extract on his stove in his kitchen, and his stuff exploded on him. He was so high he couldn't think of anything better to do but come to school, since he was already in trouble for truancy. That and the dozens of other kids I've busted coming to school high in my 7 years working in public school in Colorado. Had a student crumble up his test out of frustration, put it in his coat pocket he was wearing, and asked to take a walk. Nah bro. I had a kid stick a paper clip into an outlet. He flew out of his chair and blew out the circuits of a wing of the school. 10th grade. I caught a kindergartner hiding under the desk pooping on his backpack. In my last year teaching, I worked with high school freshmen. I had them working in groups one day, and noticed smoke puffing up from a group on the opposite side of the classroom. I blinked hard, no longer saw smoke, and figured I was just seeing things. A minute later, I see smoke again and 3 students at that table staring right at me. I go in for a closer look, just in time to catch a young lady hiding her vape pen. I email an assistant principal to come up to my room because a student is vaping in class, and she responds, "LOL, seriously?" I was teaching my 4th grade class one year when suddenly, a cell phone starts ringing. This was probably 10 years ago, so it was not at all common for a 4th grader to have one, let alone to have it start ringing in class. It was the first time that happened to me as a teacher. So I stopped class and asked who had a cell phone. Everyone is shaking their heads, looking around, trying to find where it's coming from. Suddenly, one of the chubbier boys in my class figured out it's him, stands up, and shouts, "Oh no! I have my sister's pants on by mistake. She's gonna kill me." Not a teacher, but someone let off a firecracker in the senior toilets and blew up the toilet. Worst part? Someone was in the stall next to it. Student upended his bag and a starter pistol slid out. Looked real to me. Grabbed it. He was suspended for 2 days. We have a bathroom attached to our classroom. I caught a kid scooping water from the faucet and carrying it over to the trash can. The bathroom got shut down for the rest of the day. Same year I had a kid poop his pants and try to wash it off in the sink. I didn't know it happened until an hour later when someone told me poop was all over the sink. Countless numbers of kids had washed their hands without noticing somehow. That bathroom went through a lot that year. He ate an entire cutie orange. When I say entire, I mean entire. Peel and all. He just threw the entire thing in his mouth and chewed through it. Had a high school senior pee in a water bottle in the middle of class, never asked to go to the bathroom or anything, just did it. I'm a swimming teacher. I once had a student saying she was allergic to the deep end of the pool and couldn't go in. I once caught a student, 4th grade, trying to glue the bathroom door shut with a glue stick. In retrospect, I should have investigated further because that was probably done out of some sort of desperation.